2019, I decided to hit the road and start asking people about their dreams. Little did I realize that I would find much more out about myself than I did the people that I was interviewing. Join me and see what you find out about yourself as you listen to other people answer the 3 dream questions. This is Kelsie, and she's agreed to answer the 3 dream questions. Are you ready, Kelsie?
Yeah, I'm ready as I'll ever be.
Okay. Kelsie, the first question is, what are your hopes and dreams? What are some of the things that your visions maybe for your future, your present?
Yeah. I hope on a more, I guess, like, self-indulgent level, I hope that I can do a lot of traveling in my years ahead. I've done a little bit so far. I'm 31 and I've been out of the country several times, so that's something I've begun to pursue, but I hope to continue to do it, and as I continue to get older. I think on a more like relationship level, I hope that I find someone that I can spend the rest of my life with and start a family with. And
what would that look like?
Well, so I somewhat recently began dating women. That's something that's been kind of an interesting process for me. So perhaps finding a woman to settle down with, and either adopting a child, or I'm actually seeing someone right now with a kid. So if I ended up, in a relationship where I'm going into a family with a child, then that's something that I would be open to. But family is important to me, and my relationships with people are important to me. So I think that desire to have that relationship and intimacy is something that I'm striving for and hoping to find one day.
I'm going to ask a question. If you had a magic wand and you could maybe touch the country or touch the planet or something like that, do you have anything broader as well? That any hopes or dreams about the future of people? It sounds like you've kind of chosen a little bit of an alternative lifestyle of sorts for Utah, perhaps even more than maybe other places. So I grew up LDS. I actually still have my faith in the doctrine that's taught by the LDS faith, which is often contradictory for people when they hear that. They wonder how can the two coexist. And for me, I have my beliefs allow it for the two things to coexist. But I would love for one day to see in the culture of the church a more accepting perspective on gay, queer, transgender individuals, and that they can find a place in the culture and not have to feel this separation. And I think that it's slowly starting to go that way, but I think there's a lot of progress to be made still. So as far as my own personal like religious affiliations are concerned, like that's something that I hope to see on the broader level. I think we've made a lot of progress actually, and I hope that we'll see continued progress. I know that there are still countries where being gay is illegal, and that's so backwards to me, but it's a process. So I'd love to see a world where being who you are is accepted and not condemned, I suppose. I think I did an earlier interview with a gal, her name's Lexi, and if you get online
and find Lexi's interview on this website. I think you'll find that would be very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. If you go back to when you were a child and you could talk to your 13-year-old self and you could whisper something in your ear, what would you whisper to that 13-year-old Kelsie?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Or what would you give advice to adolescents generally, maybe?
Yeah. I know it's so easy. It's easier said than done, and I feel like this is probably something adolescents, hear quite a bit, and I hope that they hear anyway, is to be comfortable in your own skin, like love who you are and embrace who you are. I think self-love is something that's really hard to have at that age. There's peer pressures and social pressures on what's considered acceptable and what's not acceptable, and it's a hard time, and your social environment at that age is so important, and it should be. That's kind of the ripe age for your social life is in your teenage years, and you're gonna have a lot to learn about yourself at that age, and it's okay to explore those things, and it's okay to be who you feel like you are, and you should not feel bad or guilty, no matter what that is, whether it's your sexuality or if it's just you're not sure you're comfortable with your personality type, if you're introverted, and if that's uncomfortable for you because you feel like, oh, well, I struggle in social situations because I'm an introvert. It's like, well, it's okay to be an introvert. There's so many different examples and different personality types out there.
Yeah, I've had somebody say in previous interview, it's not only to understand who you are, but to love who you are. Self-love is
self-love is so important, and it's hard to have at that age. I think we just feel very self-conscious as we're in those teenage years. So really just love who you are, accept who you are, and embrace it. And I think you'll find those years to be very rewarding and fulfilling that way.
Thank you. I'm going to ask one more question, and that would be, is there anything that's come to mind as you've been talking about any of this that you'd like, any last thoughts? You don't have to have them.
I think life and finding fulfillment in life is there's a lot. It's about finding balance and moderation and balance. Something that I have recently done is started getting my private pilot license. That was something that I dreamed of doing, and I just did it. And I don't always know where the money is going to come from, but I work hard and I make it work. And I think it's important to make sure that you're doing the things that you want to do, and not saying, oh, well, I'll do it in 5 years, or I'll do this first, and when I get that done, I'll be able to do this thing that I want to do. It's like sometimes you just have to make it happen. And it's been a good way to live for me anyway. Like, I may not be the wealthiest person, but I do get by. I do what I need to do, and that's where I'm talking about the balance, because obviously you don't want to be making horrible financial decisions if you need to take care of some business, but don't wait. Do what you want to do, make it happen, because the experiences that you have in life, you'll never get that time back. So do it while you can.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Very insightful.